Alright, the last installment is flat painting. So we're going to paint flat. And it's just a solid thing of color. I dipped my arm in paint and apparently got paint here. So please ignore that. Now, some of you are probably asking, well, can I use pencil to outline my stuff? Yeah, you can use pencil. But when you want to use pencil to outline, you want to be careful. If you want to look intentional and you want it to bleed through, so you see it in the end result, then you want to go dark. If you don't, and you just want to use it as scaffolding, or just to give you a visual of where stuff goes, but you don't want the lines to show through, then you want to go real light, just dragging the pencil onto the paper. So what you're going to do is then you can start drawing it out, sketching it out. You see I'm going real light, and I made my first mistake because I went the wrong way. So my symmetry is going to be off. And you're going to start penciling in where the darks and where the highlights are. On this apple, or whatever you're painting. So the first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to start getting my shadows, my midtones, and my highlights. So I have this here. So I'm going to start getting my red that I'm going to use for this. Grab my palette knife. I'm going to put a whole bunch on because I know I want to use this to mix. All right. Then I'm going to grab a little bit of the white. I would prefer like maybe a yellow. So I want to get and mix that around and try to get my highlight. See how I'm mixing it really? So I got a nice solid color. And then I'm going to grab blue. And I'm going to purple up and make my red a little bit darker. So, oh, I like how that turned out. You should not really use black. I don't like it when you use black to darken it up. I rather use other colors and use the color wheel and the color theory to darken up your colors. That is nice. I like that. Okay. Now we're not overpainting or underpainting on this. We're going with either a flat brush like this, eventually get to a smaller brush, kind of like that, or even a smaller flat brush. And we're going to start with the main color, red, because everything should go on top. And I just dipped my hand in paint again. Actually, I'm going to put that one off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and use this. Holding it like a dart, I can put my pinky down for stability. And then slowly with my hand use the bristles I'm going to grab a little bit of water because I want my paint to go on smooth. I want a solid hue. I want a solid color. It might mean that I might have to paint over this more than once, again, to get the nice intensity that you want. Oop, just goobered. That's okay. If nothing's written in stone, I can just extend it out a little bit, bring it down. And some of you might be asking, well, why are you painting the outline where the dark is going? Isn't the darkest spot at the bottom where the sun's light's not hitting it? Well, the light's bouncing off of the surface. So the darkest spot on it is never the one furthest away because light will be bouncing off of it. It is normally just inside at the bottom. So you're starting to see mix that around. Now if I was doing with this heavy paint, it would be hard to control and it would really bunch up on the surface. Notice I'm not going fast. It's not a race to get done. I'm looking for quality, not quantity. I'm looking for quality, not speed. Just because you're fast at something doesn't mean that you're efficient at something. I mean, you can be efficient, but it all depends on your end product, not how fast you got to the end product. How did the end product come out? Because if you got to do it over again, well, then it really wasn't that great. Okay, I'm running out of time for this 10-minute. You can see that it's not completely all one, but that's okay. I'm going to clean out my brush. I'm going to go to my highlight here. And then you're going to do the same thing. Put a little bit of water, get it nice and smooth. And then you're going to go over. There should be a solid color. I know I'm painting while it's still wet. You want it to dry, but I only got 10-minute videos here. So you want to paint that in. You want to do one color at a time instead of switching a whole bunch of times. Okay? There's the circle there. Notice that I'm using the tip of the brush again. I'm not using the whole brush. I'm not putting it down and moving it back and forth. I'm using the tip of the brush to apply my paint. You want the tip. That's where you're going to have most of your control. Just scrubbing it on, yeah, it may fill the space, but it's not going to fill the space with a lot of control. You want control. You want precision as best as possible. Okay? Once you get your highlights in, clean out this brush again, then you can go to the darks and start filling in the darks. Now you can add more shadows, more variations. This is just the most simplistic one. When you get into art school, there's definitely a, God bless it. More than one value going into any painting. So you can see here how this apple is coming to fruition. I might need to go over my colors again, keep my colors so they're nice and flat. These aren't quite flat yet. So I'll need to have that precision. Nice flat color, nice solid color for flat painting. you're breaking it all up in sections: highlight, midtone, and shadow. You can break it up into more sections. Those are the basic sections.